Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. We got some things to look at. We got some things to get into in this particular show, okay? There's been a lot of things that have been going on revolving around this particular case. There's some new updates. There's a new video. Nancy Grace put out a new video, and we've got to take a look at that. And it all revolves around this case. I told you guys I'd be back on. Sorry, I'm a little bit later than I expected, but at the same time, I had to make sure I had a few things lined up for this particular show. And there's a lot to consume. There's not a lot, but there's a lot. You know, this case has been crazy. This case has been very, very heavy. And now we got some new updates revolving around some of the things that we've all been kind of literally sitting at the edge of our seats for. Hoping and praying for something good. Tell me something good. Well, unfortunately, we got some not so great news. But then we got some good news in a little bit. We're going to take a look at this in a second, okay? We got a Nancy Grace interview with Seth and Tony. They were on there. There is a conversation about his polygraph test. And I know a lot of us have been wondering, did he pass or no? And I know some of y'all in the chat already saw the video and all that stuff. Don't be a spoiler, okay? Don't be a negative Nancy. That's weird because her name is Nancy Grace. You know what I'm saying. Don't be a negative Nancy, okay? No relation, okay? But we're going to talk about that, and we're going to watch all of this as a family, okay? So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. We got to get into some things. We got some not so great news, guys. We're starting off on a low beat, okay? So hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook or on the other platforms you may be watching right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets. I just got done with the show and now I'm back on again with another one, okay? So please do me that favor. Hit that reaction button. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that follow button on Facebook, X, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all my social medias. Follow me over there. The Pascal Show, one word. Follow me on all those platforms, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Join my family membership. Become a member of the family simply by hitting that join button down below. These purple lights don't pay themselves. And you know I'm working hard. Okay, I just got done with a 3-hour some odd show, and I'm hopping back on with another one. Just trying to get on all these stories and all these updates, and there's a lot of updates on other cases that we have got to talk about here very, very soon. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, make sure you hit that join button, become a member, and do not forget, go to my Patreon, patreon.com/the Pascal Show. Send the ticker going that way as we speak underneath me as well, and that little blue belt that is just going down underneath me right there. Okay, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, anyway. Woo! Okay, guys, we got some things we got to talk about. Okay, and if you guys don't already know, all right, it has been well over 2 months since we have seen this young man by the name of Sebastian Rogers. He is 15 years old. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had it already up. He is 15 years old, and we have not seen not one physical stitch of this young man for well over 2 months now. 2 whole months. It's been a very long time. And I'm going to be honest. You know, we've been covering this case for a long time now, and I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Actually, let me not get ahead of myself, because that's how I'm feeling right now. But I was really hopeful. I'm not going to lie. I was extremely hopeful. Why, you may ask? Because of this. there was a photo that came out, and now I'm trying to find it again. There it is. There was a photo that came out. Somebody said, hey, I was out in this particular area. I'm trying to remember the name of the actual spot. What is the name of that actual spot? That's going to drive me bonkers. The Grand something. Hold on. I have it written down. I'm sorry, guys. I got all these names and all these cases. Sometimes they slip. These ideas or these things slip my mind. But the visitor center, okay, at Grandfather Mountain, all right. This was a sighting, an alleged sighting in Linville, North Carolina. Now, what's very interesting is that this took over the world. This took over the case. We all were extremely excited. In fact, there's been plenty of podcasters, live streamers, and all that spending days on just this photo alone, saying, is this Sebastian or no? Now, I will say this. Dang, does it look close to it being him? It looks very close to being Sebastian. We've all been wanting to know, is this Sebastian or not? Well, a couple hours ago, law enforcement, local PD, did drop an update on it. And I wanted to share that and read that to you guys. Okay? So here it is. Real quick. Says, media representatives, we'd like to provide an update regarding the recent photographs circulated in connection with the search for Sebastian Rogers. After coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, we're determined that the child depicted in the photograph is not Sebastian. We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it has raised. Our collaborative efforts with law enforcement agencies continued unabated as we remain committed to finding Sebastian. We appreciate your cooperation and support in disseminating this update to the public. Okay, so this is from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. This is not Sebastian. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I was very hopeful. Any piece of any semblance of anything, I was really, really hoping that this was going to be Sebastian. Local PD is saying that this is not Sebastian at all. Now, I can only imagine. I mean, I have not spoken to Seth or Tony or anybody else, right, in connection to this update. I can only imagine how devastated they may be, how heartbroken they may be, because we were all hanging on hope on this. And unfortunately, this photo, is not Sebastian. So I want to bring that up. I want to share that with you guys because, like I said, I was waiting on updates revolving around Sebastian's case before I hop on and talk about Sebastian again, because I wanted more solid evidence. I wanted more solid conversation. The last time we were on, we had Tony Mathis, the spokesperson for Seth, and Seth on the show, talking about everything, right? Talking about the new footage, the new update, and all of that, right? And of course, you can even hear it in that conversation that I had with them. You can hear Sebastian or Seth being extremely hopeful. He's going, I believe that this is my son. And you know what? It could have been. Or it's not, but I understand him thinking that it could have been, right? I understand that piece. I was really hopeful for this too. It angers me because either this is somebody who actually saw someone that closely resembled him, or somebody's trying to play a hoax. I don't know. I really don't. But the only reason why I think that it wasn't a hoax and that this is just a doppelganger kind of situation is because allegedly there was video of this area showing this young man in this area. So that's the one thing I wanted to point out, because, I typed in Sebastian Rogers in the Googles because I wanted to see if there was any article talking about this. And what's interesting is something that was popped up, and I'm going like, why is this even out here? Because there's no way that this could be this. Take a look at this. Possible AI photo circulating online is not Sebastian Rogers. Sheriff office confirms. Now, let me just say this. Why would you say possible AI footage or photo if there's video? If they're saying law enforcement had in their possession video of this young boy in that area that looks closely like Sebastian, why would this article be saying this? I don't like this, because it's putting out information that, from my understanding, is not true. So it's a short article. Let me share with you guys what it says, okay? A seemingly artificial intelligence photo, AI photo, circulating on social media showing a child in North Carolina is not missing Tennessee teen Sebastian Rogers. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says they've been working with law enforcement in North Carolina to confirm that, saying, "We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it has raised." And we already know he has been a subject of an Amber Alert since he went missing from his Tennessee home. He was believed to walk off in the middle of the night, according to his mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. His mother discovered him missing from his room the morning of Monday, February 26. Okay, there's no trace of the autistic teen since his disappearance. But why would you say right off the bat AI? Did local law enforcement go up to you and say, yeah, it was AI? Then you're telling me that the video footage that they actually have of that area showing this kid is also AI too? Come on. I don't believe that. I'll just say that. I don't like that article. And that's not true. Because if it was AI, why would there be video? Why would there be video footage of this kid that closely resembles Sebastian moving around in the area, moving around in that particular spot where he was last seen? Like I said, I don't like that too much. Okay. But like I said, hey, maybe they know something more than I know. Okay. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Just saying that out loud. Now, I do have another thing I want to point out, share with you guys as well, because no one else is saying anything about an AI. And like I said, Sebastian, Seth and Tony and the rest of the team of people out there and all the information that's been out here, they would not go out here and say, oh, there's video. Oh, it's not AI, if they believed it was AI. If they heard law enforcement has video, then come on. And you know what? Tipsy, if that is not Sebastian at all, then yes, I do agree. They just need to get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off, let him see the footage so he can have at least some peace of mind and close that door to this chapter and to this possibility once and for all. You see what I'm saying? Maybe redact certain things, blur out any type of license plates and whatnot, you know what I mean? Or blur out certain areas that he can't see, something of that sort, right? So that he could just see it for himself. So he doesn't do anything irrational or crazy out here, like going and tracking those people down because he believes that that's, Sebastian and whatnot. I don't care what law enforcement says. That's Sebastian. You see what I'm saying? Because I know, never underestimate the power of denial. Let's not forget that. Okay. But at the same time, you don't want to put people in harm's way. And I do understand, potential problems in the future. But I know that I would hope that Seth would never do anything like that. But at least let him see some of the footage so that he can move on, right? Because as we all already know, he went down there. He drove all the way down to North Carolina, to Linville, North Carolina, to see this footage, to see the photo, to have a conversation with local PD, okay? And then they shut the doors on him, basically. Like, we're looking into this. We will let you know when we know, kind of thing. And that was it. And that's crazy and very unfortunate. Real talk. But they say that it's not him. So we will have to just let that be what it is. Now, I want to share with you what Nick Barris said, because I know Nick Barris has been following. This is a reporter for the NC5, News Channel 5. He has been very, very heavy into this case and reporting some stuff. But he said something in the beginning of this before he quoted what I just read to you guys from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. So I wanted to share this with you, of course, because he's been doing a lot of breakdown on this stuff too, okay? And he says, photograph, not Sebastian Rogers. I now have official confirmation. The photo taken of a teen at a visitor center in North Carolina last Saturday is not of Sebastian Rogers, okay? And we already know that the 15-year-old boy, autistic boy, disappeared from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home more than 2 months ago. The boy in the photograph very much resembled Sebastian, but it was not him. And then he says underneath, here's a statement just sent to me by Sumner County, Tennessee Chief Deputy Eric Craddock. Now, here's the thing. Notice in his statement saying that this is not that of Sebastian. Did he or did he not say anything about some artificial intelligence photo? Or at least did he or did he not say anything that referring to AI? Don't worry, I'll wait. I can't hear you, so I can't really say that I'll wait. But you know what I'm saying here, right? Clearly to me, there's a doppelganger out here that looks a lot like Sebastian. And let's be real, there's plenty of kids out here that have the same type of swagger, same type of glasses, same type of hairdo, have the same type of stature, same build, etc. Plenty of people out here, plenty of doppelgangers out here. Okay? Plenty. But that part I found to be very interesting and, of course, heartbreaking, because let's be real. I want him to be found. And I think a lot of you guys want him to be found. It's just, this is, I'm just really annoyed. You know what I mean? I'm very, very much annoyed. He continued on. I want to share this part 2, okay? After the statement from Sumner County Sheriff's Office, he says, this is the first official statement issued by authorities on the photo, which has generated so much attention. Apparently, just a look alike. So how did they reach this conclusion? Authorities using security video from the visitor center were able to track the boy in the photo and his family. They made contact and determined it was not Sebastian. Let me just say this again. Do you hear anything that says AI? Let me do that again. Hit that rewind. Let me start from the beginning of that part again. So how did they reach to this conclusion? Oh, so the police did some policing. The 5-0 did some 5-0ing. Ozempic. So authorities using security video from the visitor center, the security footage that Daddy Rogers, okay, Seth Rogers said himself that they had obtained that he was not allowed to see. They were able to track the boy in the photo and his family. They made contact and determined it was not Sebastian. I certainly understand why the citizen snapped the photo and authorities took it seriously. Yes. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Yes. Hercules. Yes. Yes. That's how you do it, because there's the only way we could find him is if we out here in these streets, and if we see something, we take a photo and we start calling local PD as soon as possible. Now, I don't know what this person did. I don't know if they just posted it online and just for clout. And then later on, they're like, wait, I should call 50. Oh, I should call 50. Oh, right. I should have called when I saw him when I initially saw him. Oh, my bad. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was too excited about sharing it to social media. So next time, I don't know if that's how it went down, but if it went down that way, let me tell you something. Please take the photo, call local PD ASAP. You just never know. Don't post it on social media. Don't do that. Don't waste your time with that. Call local PD. Make sure they have it. Then post it online. Then you can do whatever the hell you want. Okay? Real talk, but still appreciated. Still appreciated that they put this information out here. So the cops did their due diligence okay? Followed and tracked the car. I guess he got into some sort of car, tracked that boy all the way back to his home, I'm assuming, and found out. They went bing bong. They said, yes, we understand you have a son here, blah, blah, blah. We are looking for this 15-year-old boy. In this photo, he resembles Sebastian. Can you please present him for us? And then they saw it and they said, oh, that's my son. And he's right here. And lo and behold, he shows up and he's like, hey, yeah, what's up? You look somewhat like Sebastian. Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that you guys were looking for somebody named Sebastian, but good luck. And it wasn't him. But still, you see something, say something. Keep your head on a swivel. Take the photo, call PD. Don't post it online. That's just what I say. So I certainly understand why they snapped the photo and authorities took it seriously. Damn right. Thank God they did. Let me just clap for the authorities for a second. I know they've been getting a lot of bad light shown on them as of lately. Let's keep it a buck. But I do appreciate them taking this very seriously, and that the reason why we didn't hear anything is because they were too busy trying to track this family down with this potential boy. And of course, somebody just said this too. Muka just said this. Why did it take so long? That's a very good question. You want to know why? I think that they have to tread very, very lightly. They don't want to sit there and run in and go, dur, dur, dur. You know what I mean? We understand you have a 50-year-old boy in this house. They can't do that because that could be really, really bad. They don't want to get sued. They don't want anything crazy like that. They have to make sure that before they pounce, before they hop on it, they have to make sure that they have everything lined up before they go for the kill. Does that make sense? And I think that's exactly what happened here. You also got to remember, it's a kid. It involves a kid. So you don't want to say anything or do anything. And if this is a potential threat for this 15-year-old boy, you don't want the guy or whoever's holding Sebastian potentially to think, oh, they're hot on my track. And then they do something devastating like unaliving Sebastian before they make their run, because they can feel the heat on the neck. Does that make sense? So I can understand that piece. So if they need to take a little bit of time, take your time, baby. Because I want you to do it right. One time and one time only. You see what I'm saying? Because if you miss your mark, that could be devastating, and that could mean the losing the lives of many people. Real talk. So let's continue. They investigate all possible leads. Hopefully more tips will continue to be called in to 1-800-TBI-FIND. Okay. And of course, they say, if you see something, say something, you know what I mean? Take a photo, or have new information, call it in immediately. Like I'm just saying, instead of posting it online first, post and send that stuff immediately. Not post it. I'm saying post it or send it immediately to law enforcement. You see what I'm saying? If you got to post it on their page or something like that, and that's the only way you think it's going to get to them, then post it on their page. But then also call it in, dagnabbit. Okay? The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to track down the lead. Okay? So again, let me repeat that. Authorities using security video, so that is true, from the visitor center were able to track the boy in the photo and his family. They made contact and they determined it was not Sebastian. I certainly understand why the citizen snapped the photo and authorities took it seriously. They investigate all potential leads. So they took a little bit of time, okay? Well over a week, but hey, better late than never. And they were able to determine that is not Sebastian Rogers. I know I'm angry about it too. This is not great news because I want him to be found. I want this case to just be a thing of the past and that he's home, safe and sound with his family, safe and sound wherever safe and sound is going to be for him, if that makes any sense. That's all I give a damn about. Getting him home. But the photo did bring some hope. Now, I mean, I know that there's been some speculation and some rumors out here saying certain things about how certain sides of the family were initially reacting about the sighting and all that. And you know what? I'm going to leave that to you guys, and whatever you want to think of, think about when it comes to that. But I know there was things being said right when this photo dropped. Let me pull that photo up one more time, because now this is going to be a thing of the past. All right. But there was allegedly being, some reactions being said immediately when this came out. And then I guess those things were deleted. I don't know. But I just leave that out for you guys. All right. But it's not him. And that's annoying. I am hoping that we get I'm really hoping that we get something sooner rather than later, because I think we're all getting really annoyed, right? We're all getting annoyed. And the annoyance is because we don't know what's going on. It's almost like we're taking one gigantic step backwards because we were hoping this would lead us down a different route, and we still don't have anything. And all I can say is, to the family, all of the people that are connected to this, I can feel their pain, regardless if it's Proudfoots or Rogers. They are all being affected by this whole thing in general, whether they did something or not. I mean, I'm side-eyeing who I'm side-eyeing, but at the same time, there's a kid out there that no one knows where he is, and it's frustrating. And I'm praying to the sweet baby Jesus. He is still alive and breathing. He's just in some house, just playing Fortnite all day long, or Call of Duty, or whatever he's allowed to play, right? But we're still at a stalemate right now. We're at a stalemate once again. Now, there is something else. I told you guys I'd be talking about Nancy Grace, but we got to talk about Nancy Grace. Okay? Nancy Grace has a new interview coming out. I don't know if it comes out tonight or if it's coming out later on tonight, tomorrow or something like that. But she does have a new interview with Seth Rogers coming out very, very soon. You guys know about this because he was on with Tony Mathis, his new spokesperson, on the show this past Friday. We kind of we talked and he, Tony got a chance to be kind of presented to the world to be a part of this whole thing, right? And to be a spokesperson. And I know there's a lot of people that feel some type of way about it. I say we should step back and let these guys do what they need to do. I think Seth is only one man, and there's a lot that he's going to have to need. There's a lot that he's going to need help from. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming up, I'm sure, in the very near future that he can't do all by himself. He really can't. He can't be Superman and Clark Kent at the same place at the same time. It's impossible. Eventually, let's think about this too. Eventually, he's going to have to work. I'm assuming he's going to have to go back to his job at some point. He can't just be out there all day long looking for Sebastian. At some point, he's still got to show up and pay the bills and make the monies. He needs somebody. He needs somebody there to help with the heavy lifting. And this case has gotten so big and so heavy. He most definitely needs somebody on his team that can handle some of the media weight for sure. Okay? I mean, that's just me, though. That's just my personal opinion. I think also the interview that he had, or the phone conversation that he had with Chris, was a mess. And I think that I just think that things need to be a little bit more tidied up a little bit. That's just me, like sitting in the nosebleed seats and just calling it like I see it. And one thing that I think he needs more than anything else is somebody to help. That's it. Somebody to help. Because sure, it's fine. Okay? Sure, it's fine to speculate and have these conversations every single day, wondering where Sebastian is every single show and all that. But at the same time, at some point, I mean, you're going to need to get to facts and find Sebastian. At some point, the drama needs to be pushed to the side, and we need to lean on the facts and find this young boy at some point. So hopefully that'll be something that happens here in the near future. If not, then hey, it's like the alliance that the Proudfoots had with Seth Rogers, right? There was supposed to be an alliance that was supposed to happen, right? Wasn't there supposed to be some sort of alliance? Don't you remember? I remember that. Like, I feel like that was yesterday, but has that happened yet? Hell to the no. Hell to the no, it hasn't happened. Okay? Hasn't even happened at all. So, hey, you throw a bunch of things on the wall and see what sticks. And I think he's trying some things and seeing what sticks. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay? We will definitely see what happens. I'm just hopeful, But Sebastian's family, they need help. They most definitely need help. So hopefully that's going to happen very, very soon, right? Now, here's the thing. Nancy Grace, she had Seth and Tony on. She just dropped a little teaser that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's kind of interesting to see. Okay. Now, Amy Lynn, the show isn't out yet, from my understanding. She just put out a clip which I have right here. I know a lot of you guys are going, the clip is already out. It's already out. I already got it. I got it. Chill. Tranquilo. I've been had it. I said in the very beginning, y'all don't even hear the show. I said, Nancy Grace, we're going to watch this clip from Nancy Grace. We're going to talk about it. Now, there's a conversation about a polygraph test. Remember back in the day, I feel like we've been on this case for like 6 months because of how much stuff has transpired over the past like little over 2 months now. But Seth did a polygraph test. Remember, he allegedly fell asleep during the polygraph and all that, and everyone's like, "Oh, he done failed that polygraph because he fell asleep. Look at that motherfucker. He fell asleep. Oh, he guilty, right?" Well, we're gonna find out. Did he do it? Did he pass it? How did he do? That's what I'd like to know right here. Let's take a look at this, guys. All right, Nancy Grace.
We all remember that moment when I put Sebastian's father, Seth, on the hot seat on national TV and asked him, would he be willing to take a polygraph? He said yes. He did take a polygraph. Straight back out to Seth Rogers. Joining us is Sebastian's father. And now joining us is a renowned polygrapher, Kendall Schule, former head of the entire FBI polygraph program in DC, former special agent with the FBI in DC.
So the polygrapher is in the house. Interesting.
He is at Kendall Investigations. Also joining us, Tony Mathis, who is helping Seth Rogers as he walks this very, very rocky path.
All right.
First of all, let me just get this out of the way. This is a yes, no, Kendall Schule. Did Seth Rogers pass his polygraph?
Yes, he did.
Okay, Seth Rogers, tell me about going and taking the polygraph. We want to hear every single word because I've got a stack of nasty online posts about you failing, about you not going, blah, blah, blah. A lot of trolls chiming in. Let's get to the truth of that polygraph. Seth, what happened?
I showed up early for the polygraph. Mr. Kendall contacted me and told me that he'd be there well before the time that we had stated. So I showed up and I sat in the chair and let him attach those things to me and took the polygraph.
The most straightforward. So what did you do? I sat in a room. They strapped some things to me in a chair and I took a polygraph. I mean, there's no disrespect, no shade. I'm just saying it's kind of funny because it is true. It's like I did exactly what you just asked. And they just broke down. I did a polygraph. People asked me questions, and I was tied to a machine. That's it. But first off, let me say, what up, T-Rev? Shout out to T-Rev, 757. All right. Shout out to T-Rev. He was one of the guys watching the show on Friday. We got done with the show and he was like doing a kind of a replay reaction thing. And I think you were like one of the only people that actually was, being fair and being open-minded, to this whole thing. It's been a little crazy out here in these streets. So I appreciate you just being open-minded, man. Just letting them do their thing, right? Giving them a chance. So I appreciate that. Shows a lot about you. Just want to let you know. Continuing on.
Have you ever had a polygraph before?
No, ma'am.
And what kind of questions did the polygrapher Kendall Schule ask you?
If I had ever wanted to harm anybody, if I ever wanted to hurt my son, if I had ever hurt my son, if I'd ever had anything to do with his disappearance.
Question. You said they hooked you up. What do you mean by that, Seth Rogers?
They put things on my hands. They wrapped cords around me. Um, they had a pressure cuff on me to measure my blood pressure, measure my heart rate, my breathing rate, things like that.
A polygraph. Just so you know. They're describing the polygraph like he really was doing a polygraph, guys. And I get it. I get it why she's saying that. Okay. Like I understand why she's asking, because she wants to make sure that everybody, even her followers and listeners from Middle America, can understand exactly what he was doing, so that they know without a shadow of a doubt he was wearing or doing a polygraph test without any question. Okay. It's not like, oh, well, he was getting some ice cream, some soft serve ice cream. Nope. He was getting a polygraph without question.
How long did it take?
It took a minute.
So much that he fell asleep.
It took 60 seconds. Could you be precise or more precise? How long do you think it took?
We were there for 3 hours, 4 hours.
That's about right. It's not easy. Okay, sit tight, Seth. And again, thank you for being with us. Out to Kendall Schewel, as I told you, former head of the entire FBI polygraph program in D.C. Kendall, thank you. When we put out the word that Seth Rogers would take a polygraph, we contacted you because of your reputation. You quickly agreed, and I thank you for that.
So the polygrapher did the polygraphing.
Again, this was not free. He was paid to do the polygraph. He owes nothing to anybody. And therefore was not swayed one way or the other. He had never met Seth Rogers before in his life. Mr. Schewel, I've looked very carefully at your polygraph report right here. Number one, you start off by saying it was conducted using a comparison question format that meets U.S. government standards. What is a comparison question format? What is that?
It's a format that's well accepted by the polygraph community, particularly the American Polygraph Association. There are certain formats that we can use that are more acceptable, that we know are more reliable. And this was one of those, certainly a test format that I would want to use to make sure we're doing everything right to get the correct results. And this is again a format of polygraph that is widely accepted as a standard in the FBI world and in the polygraph world in general.
We all remember.
Okay. I need to replay the beginning real quick. Okay.
That moment when I put Sebastian's father, Seth, on the hot seat on national TV and asked him, would he be willing to take a polygraph? He said yes. He did take a polygraph. Straight back out to Seth Rogers. Joining us is Sebastian's father. And now joining us is a renowned polygrapher, Kendall Schewel, former head of the entire FBI polygraph program in D.C., former special agent with the FBI in D.C. He is at Kendall Investigations. Also joining us, Tony Mathis, who is helping Seth Rogers as he walks this very, very rocky path. First of all, let me just get this out of the way. This is a yes/no, Kendall Schewel. Did Seth Rogers pass his polygraph?
Yes, he did.
Good job, Seth. Good job. So, just so you know, okay, I'm playing it for the third time because I missed it the first time. Because I heard it before and I was like, oh, I need to play it and make sure you guys hear this. And I wanted to make sure I emphasize that. He passed. He done passed. Ain't that beautiful? It's beautiful. But I'm going to play one more again.
Get this out of the way. This is a yes/no, Kendall Schewel. Did Seth Rogers pass his polygraph?
Yes, he did.
Ain't that a beautiful thing? When the yes, just feels so good to say it out. Yes. And he passed. And you're hearing it from the guy who did the polygraph test on Seth Rogers. Okay? You're hearing it from the source that actually did the polygraphing. Did the poly. I want you to know that. Because remember, Chris, all right, has said, oh, yeah, we did polygraphs and we passed. How do you know you passed, brother? Did you talk to the person who did the poly for you and say, good job, you passed? Did he go to Katie and go, good job, Katie, you passed? I'm just saying, I don't think so. That's information that police are not going to give you. Now, given the fact that this was an independent polygraph test, not done by TBI, not done by local law enforcement or anything of that sort, this was an independent polygraph that Nancy Grace paid for, or at least I'm sure her show paid for, to get conducted. Of course, they're able to get that information. Of course, they're able to unearth that and say, did he pass or not? It's very easy when you're doing it independently, right? Remember, this is also the same polygraph test that Seth allegedly fell asleep during. He said it on multiple platforms that he fell asleep. But one thing I do appreciate about that is his transparency. He's like, I fell asleep. He was on meds. He's not sleeping. He's been out looking for Sebastian. Stress, all that stuff. I mean, come on. Okay. And yeah, Simone, I couldn't agree more. I don't think Seth wants apologies. I don't think he has time for that BS. We're seeing that Chris Proudfoot has that time. Okay. He wants everybody to go up to him and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Lo siento. No. And that's fine. If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. But at the same time, I think it's really in the actions of everybody, right? We need us to, he needs us, right, to keep supporting in finding Sebastian and keeping his name out there. Boom. Helping in any ways you can to help find Sebastian. I think that's one way of saying, hey, lo siento, brother, lo siento. That's just what I think. That's just me, though. Miss me with the apologies, man. Like, it's fine. We're here for Team Sebastian, and that's what it should be. Not this BS slinging mud type thing, murking up the water, making things worse, making things more dramatic than they actually need to be. That's the thing that's making the case worse, is the drama. Miss us, all of us, with the drama. It's not necessary. That's just what I think. It's not. And I think if you were in any of these cases' shoes, you wouldn't want all this murky, messed up situations all the time. You would just want the facts and information that's going to lead you closer to your kid or to your loved one that's missing. And I think that's where they're at this point. Now, how the Proudfoots want to be out here in these streets, how they want to conduct, that's on them. In fact, fine. Me, I just want the truth on whatever happened. I want Sebastian to be found. Whether that has something to do with the Proudfoots or not, it's not even the case anymore. I don't care about that part. What I care about is evidence, facts, so that we can get closer to bringing him home. And if it happens to be that the Proudfoots shoot even Seth, shoot any of the people that are surrounding this case have anything to do with this disappearance, it'll be found in the evidence and the facts. Just saying. Because I've seen so many people getting so angry, and I'm going, and in my mind, I go, what are you angry for? Are you the one who lost your son? Are you out here for 2 months, more than 2 months, begging and pleading and trying to figure out where your son is? And if your answer is no, then I don't understand why you are so help them find facts. Help them find facts. That's all I'm asking. And I think that's a simple ask. It is. Mora, thank you so much for being a member for the past 13 months. I really do appreciate it. Seth passed his polygraph. Yep, thank you for telling me that. I think we already covered, but I think you already said, you may have said this before I even covered this, but yeah, or covered that news. But yes, Seth most definitely passed his poly. Ain't that something? But I'm not surprised. But I know a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of people that have been running around, right, saying that Seth had something to do with this. Well, if everyone's leaning on the polygraph test like that, he took it and he passed. And his alibi checks out pretty hard. So like I said, what happened to Sebastian? Now that we don't know, now that we don't have this footage from North Carolina, it's almost like a little bit, it's almost a little bit like we're going back, right? Just a little bit. I mean, you know, like okay, the Sounds of Silence just said this. Help find facts, but yes, but don't create false hope. It affects the families mentally for the hope to be jerked around or jerked out from under them. Now, I will say this. I agree with that, but I also do think that if you honestly believe or feel that you just saw somebody that looks like Sebastian, I mean, take a photo and call. And if it becomes big news and it gets leaked out there and people find out about it, then it is what it is. But I think that if you're just out here creating BS news for the sake of BS news, like AI photos and stuff like that, then you're not helping the case. You're just making things up just to be rude. And that's wrong. That's not how you do things here. Not when it's a real life that we're talking about. So, yes, like that photo, if they really truly believe that that was him, then hey, that was an innocent situation. You know, there's always going to be moments where you're getting led down a certain path that leads to nothing, right? It could be a potential lead to something, but it ends up not being anything. You know, we've seen that in countless cases. You know, it might be an eyewitness account, it might be something someone heard, and it did actually happen, but it's not connected to the actual case that these officers are investigating, so on and so forth. These things do happen, right? Like this photo that could have honestly been 110% innocent, and that's okay. But if it was made out of malice, then yeah, that's a big ass problem, right? That's a big, huge problem. But let me see if there's any more updates real quick. Yeah, like all these other articles that I've been seeing that so far, right? You know, none of them are sitting there saying anything about AI. So I don't understand how that one of all things comes out with that information. But you know, it's crazy. Crazy what people say, man. Crazy what people will say, man. Honestly. Let's see. Lee just asked this real quick. So was Seth shown the video footage or just went by what he was told? Seth was not given video footage at all, but he was told that the law enforcement did have footage. In fact, just in case, because I know some people are like, well, wait, what does that mean? Anybody could have lied to him, right? Well, let me make sure you guys see this. And this is from a news reporter from News Channel 5. Okay. He's been following this case very, very closely. But he says, so how did they reach to this conclusion, right? They said official statement issued by authorities on the photo, which has generated so much information or so much attention. Apparently just a lookalike. He says, so how did they reach this conclusion? Authorities using security video. Using security video. So what they heard from law enforcement was not a lie. They looked at security video, law enforcement did, from that visitor center, and they were able to track that very boy in the photo and the family. They made contact with the family, got to see the kid, and found out that the kid, that is big news. Okay? Period, point blank. Okay? Period, point blank. All right? They made contact and they determined it was not Sebastian. All right? Somebody actually did take that photo. It is not AI. They looked at some security video. They were able to track down, I'm assuming, tracking down the license plate of the car that he may have gotten into. They tracked him down. They found out that that was not Sebastian. It just is his doppelganger. Okay? Just so you guys know. But let me see here real quick. And again, Seth did pass his poly. And I think that's very big and important information for us to have consumed in our heads as well. Okay. Let me see here real quick. Bubbo.
Also have new developments in
Let me see this real quick. This is a short little video that I want to share with you guys from local news. And like I said, it's still terrible, terrible news. Still not great news. We all want him. We all want his butt home. You know what I mean? Safe and sound and all of that stuff.
also have new developments in the search for Sebastian.
Try that again. Bow.
Also have new developments in the search for Sebastian Rogers. We're hearing from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office after a photograph with a rumored sighting goes viral. Now, I want to show you the image. This was taken at a North Carolina rest stop in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Now, some say it looks like the missing 15-year-old from Sumner County. However, after coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, the sheriff's office has determined that child depicted is not Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian was reported missing from his Hendersonville home February 26th, and so far there's been no evidence of foul play connected to his disappearance. Also have new developments in the
it's crappy news, guys. It is crappy news. Okay. You hope and pray that this information would be like, hey, okay, Sebastian, that is Sebastian. We're trying to coordinate everybody together, so on and so forth. And unfortunately, it's not happening like that. Okay. Unfortunately, this was not Sebastian. And now it's almost like we're back to the drawing board. But sometimes taking a step backwards and going back to the beginning sometimes gets us to the end. So maybe we'll be able to get to something very, very soon here. Now, hold on real quick. Pretzel, thank you so much. Pascal, can you confirm if Chris and Katie actually took the polygraphs? There's confusing info on that. And I've not heard a confirmation on it. Now, let me just say this. From my understanding, there is a confirmation that Katie did take a poly. I don't know anything about Chris taking a poly or not. I have yet to hear anything about Chris taking a polygraph. Now, what they have said, and remember, because it's very annoying. Because Chris did say on a podcast that he and Katie did a polygraph. Then he went on to Nancy Grace, right? And he said something completely different. He said, no, she took it. I didn't need to. TBI said I wasn't there, so I didn't need to take one. He said this on Nancy Grace, but he said in other videos and other podcasts something completely different. And if he wants to get mad about that, that ain't on us. We're just reporting what he said. That's a huge difference. Yes, contradictions indeed. Liar, liar, pants on fire, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, right? So that's what he did. He said one thing on one show, then he was on Nancy Grace, and understandably, it's Nancy Grace, right? So what did he do? He told the truth. And then he said, name a place and a time. Yeah, I'll do it, Polly. Whenever you want to. Nancy Grace said, hey, love to give you that, Polly. And then he said, oh, well, see, what had happened was TBI said I can't do it through you, but I'm going to do an independent polygraph with TBI. But did that ever actually happen? I don't know. I honestly do not know. There's been speculation and rumors that he took the polygraph the same day that Seth Rogers took the polygraph, but I have yet to hear any confirmation of that as well for me. Now, if he has done it, that'll be absolute news to me. But I have heard nothing of that. Just so you guys know, I've heard nothing of that sort. Okay? And, of course, they say Katie passed the polygraph, but let's keep it a buck. How do we know she passed the poly when it comes to those kinds of investigations? They're not telling you if you passed or not. They don't tell you that information. We even had somebody call into the show and let us know that. They don't just automatically go up to you and go, you passed, Katie, good job. You know what I mean? They don't dap it up. They don't do that. They hold that information and they let you go on your merry little way. They're not going to tell you right off the bat. That's insane. Unless she has that close of a connection with 5-0 that 5-0 was able to leak that information to her and go, yeah, you passed, you're good. Yeah, Katie, you good. Go. You good. You good. You good. You know what I mean? So, I'm Miss Lisa. I'm like, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, yes. You know, maybe they are holding their cards tight, close to their vest, right? Maybe they are. You know what I mean? And if they are, then hell yeah. That's just how you cop out here. That's how you detective out here. Let them do their doggone thing, right? But we'll see. But you heard here from the polygrapher, okay, from the man who actually conducted the polygraph for Seth Rogers. I'm sorry, I'm reading your comments and I'm trying to have a conversation with you guys at the same time. We heard from the guy who actually conducted the polygraph test for Seth, and he said he passed. Without a shadow of a doubt. I played it 3 different times, 3 separate times. Okay. But you know what? I'm going to do this. Why not? Let's give it a whirl. I'm going to open up the phone lines for a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do a little speak on it for a second. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts on this. All right. Can't be on for very long. So these are going to have to be very short and sweet, but what are your thoughts on the, about this photo, this possible sighting not being that of Sebastian? I know that a lot of us are heartbroken, frustrated and angry, you know, but let's talk about it. Okay. So give me a call, give me a ring. All right. Like I said, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it professional. You know what I mean? Keep it kind. If you act like an ass, if you are an ass, I hang up on that ass. That's pretty much straightforward, up and down like 6 o'clock. Let's rock and roll. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Tammy, how you doing? What's on your mind? Speak on it. Okay. Yeah. Same. Oh, shoot. Hold on one second. Say that again. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's unmuted. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the heads up. It's Tammy, okay? Calling in from
Yeah,
where again? I'm sorry.
Tennessee.
From Tennessee. So, what's on your mind? Speak on it. I'm so sorry, Tammy. And sorry, fam. She's on.
What Sebastian or what Seth must be going through
Mm-hmm.
because I have been there. My daughter was gone for 3 weeks,
Wow.
and
How old
I
was she?
literally walked 6 miles to get to my grandmother's house because I didn't have a car. My ex took the car with my child. They were moving to North Carolina, but we found them and got the police, and they stood outside for 2 hours and 45 minutes to get my daughter. I don't know of any mother that could just sit aside and not look.
Right.
I was set. I was out every single day. My family was. No sleep, no nothing. But he has to keep the hope alive
No doubt.
because, I mean, every day I went through, did he kill her? Did he ship her away? Until we found her. But
Wow.
it was the most heartbreaking news to hear that that picture was not him.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about how long ago was this? How old?
It was 30 years ago.
Okay.
He had came, we were separated, and he's not her father.
Oh.
He had came to go, I married him so that my family wouldn't ask me to get an abortion.
Oh, I see.
He came to ask if he could take her for ice cream. Stupid me said yes. 11 o'clock at night, still wasn't back. I walked down the street to a payphone. I called 911. A deputy came out. And then at 11:30 and 12 o'clock at night, I walked in the dark to my grandmother's house, banging on their door.
Yeah.
And we started looking. And I did that every day till I spotted my car.
So
And then
can I ask you something
Yes.
really quick? Okay. So
Sure.
so he went and took your kid for ice cream and never came back, or how did you not
Yes, never.
know? But how did you not know that he had any part of taking your kid? You see what I'm
Because
saying?
he asked if he could take her for ice cream.
Okay.
I know that his mom had did the same thing with his sister's kid and had gotten custody of his sister's kid.
Okay.
And they moved. So I knew that. And 3 weeks later, when I seen the car at his grandmother's house, I had my aunt and my mom stay with the car there, block him in. I walked 2 blocks away to go call the police because this in 88, there were no cell phones.
Right.
And there were 2 officers working there. And they drove me back to the house. They would not come to the door or anything. He could hear them in. So they waited outside for 2 hours and 45 minutes to get a search warrant.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found her in a closet. I got her back 1 week before her first birthday. And they had a U-Haul truck and everything. And then the reason the cops stayed for so long is the neighbor said they're moving to North Carolina in the morning.
Wow.
So all my fears were
Yeah.
approved. That's what they were going to do. And my daughter literally used to walk. I know you don't know much about Tampa, but there's a thing called Gasparilla.
Okay.
For 10 years, my daughter walked up and down that parade route asking all the officers if they knew Scott Duffy. And then finally one year we found a guy that knew him, and it didn't click in my head till that night when I got home. The guy that gave me his business card and said, call me. I know him. He's my best friend. He was Scott's training officer, the other officer there.
Yeah.
And so my daughter at 16 got to meet the officer that saved her.
Wow.
And thank him. And then that officer had went to duty at the mayor's office. So he was no longer on patrol. But after meeting my daughter and hearing what he did for her, him and James Meyer both went back on street patrol. And they both got accommodations. And we were there to hand them up their accommodations after 16 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
So there is hope out there. I hope Seth is listening and knows there is hope. Don't give up.
Yeah. Well, Tammy, I appreciate you sharing your story. And yeah, that definitely gives us a little bit of hope. Because we need it. We need all the hope we can get right now. It's been a wild 2 months, and I know a lot of us want to get things, as many answers as we can get right now. So thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, and I'd like to take Katie into a back alley.
We're going to have to talk about that on another show, okay?
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Tired as a Mother, and I'm from Alabama.
What's up, Tired as a Mother? How you doing?
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really do enjoy your show. I have been following you since the Briley Strain case, and I appreciate everything that you do for everybody.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
But that is, well, thank you. That is all the time that I wanted to take from you. So you can talk to these other people and help them out. But thank you for everything.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. It means a lot, you know.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Oops. That was sweet. Check out Tired as a Mother. She's on TikTok. Sorry, that just jumped in my head. Just now. I'm an idiot. Go check her out on TikTok. She does some really great coverage on a lot of these cases as well. Okay, Tired as a Mother. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hold on. This thing's tripping. Let's try that again. Somebody call in. Here we go. Hey, you're on the mic. Ooh, that's weird. Hello?
Hi.
That's so
Hi,
odd.
this is Katie. I'm from Tennessee.
Hi, Katie from Tennessee. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Hey, this just reminds me so much of the Trezell West case that I just wanted to call in and talk about that. Because I'm a criminal justice major at one of Tennessee's universities.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reminds me so much of that and how little police were talking about it and how weird it was that police weren't talking about it. And about 6 months later, after the two boys had gone missing, the two foster parents were arrested. So I'm wondering if maybe they're being so quiet because it's one of those situations.
Are you talking about the Orrin West?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. It's been
the two little brothers.
Yes. Wow. Yes. It's been a minute since I've talked about that. But yeah, it was very weird, right? There wasn't really a whole lot of conversation with law enforcement. There wasn't a whole lot of communication with everything, and then all of a sudden, boom, they just get hit with all kinds of, they get hit with getting arrested and all that stuff. It was very odd. And so, yeah, sorry for saying it's a deep cut, but it is kind of a deep cut. But a very good call. Very good call.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all the time I'm going to take away from you. I just wanted to call in and remind people about that because I know it's been frustrating that we haven't heard anything from the police.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to have to dig that story up again. It's been a minute.
It's been about 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And you cover so many cases, you cover so many stories, they just, you know what I mean? Everything starts to pile on top of each other. And then you go, oh, wow, I forgot about this one, or I forgot about that one. And all that kind of stuff. So good call on that.
They all just bleed together after a while.
Exactly. They all kind of bleed together, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate that.
Hey, thank you so much. You've been a long time watcher. I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. See you in the chat. All right. Bye.
See ya.
Okay. Got another one. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Man, what is going on? Hold on. This whole thing is tripping. Okay. Try calling in again. I'm sorry. For some odd reason, that number, I don't know, some phone calls are going through in a different way. It's weird. But that is a good point there. Let me try this. Hey, y'all, the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Shirley. I'm calling from Denver.
Hey, Shirley from Denver. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
I'm going to tell you, Pascal, they need to take Katie back in that police department, and they need to be very aggressive with interrogating her. She knows what happened to that baby. There is no way that baby just vanished out here in thin air.
Yeah, no,
it's not possible.
I don't disagree with you. Okay, I don't disagree with you, Shirley. I really do think that. We know one fact for sure. The last person to see him alive and in the flesh is Katie Proudfoot. Now, does she have anything to do with him missing right now? His disappearance? Maybe, but then maybe not too. And I know that's a frustrating thing to say, but I don't blame all of us that are side-eyeing, that are looking and going, yeah, she needs to be brought in and interrogated again. You know what I mean? That's just, I mean, shoot, go back to the basics. That's what I'm saying. Like just what I just said a second ago. Hey, I know this feels like we're taking one large step backwards because that photo is not Sebastian, but at the same time, maybe we go back to the basics. We go back to the beginning so that we can make a much bigger leap forward. And that might mean bringing her back in and asking her those questions all over again. Maybe having her do another polygraph. I don't know, but it just, it's frustrating, Shirley. It's frustrating.
And another thing, Pascal.
Shoot.
I know that Chris's family has ties with the sheriff and that police department in that county. It needs to be moved out of that county. Because that could be throwing dampers and stuff.
Good point.
In the church.
Good point. I am kind of curious as to what kind of procedure is there a way to move the investigation into another county so that there isn't any possibility of any of these officers or an agency being corrupt or being connected to the family? Because I feel like there needs to be an unbiased agency or lead detective or lead officer on this case, right? And I think that there's a lot of biases going on. You see what I'm saying? So you got a good point there. I
totally agree. I do not think that county sheriff, police station, whatever you want to call it, needs to handle it. It needs to go to a different county and let them handle it. I know, in fact, they did that. I don't know if you remember the Gannon Stout case.
Yeah.
When he went missing out El Paso County, they let the next county handle that until they found him and Letitia Stout.
Interesting.
And then they brought her in from North Carolina.
Yeah.
All the way to Colorado.
I'm interested. I would love to see if that's even possible. And if it is possible, how can they do that in one fell swoop so that it doesn't create any kind of hiccup or any delay in the investigation and the search for Sebastian? But that is a very good point. You made two very good points. They do need to bring her back in and ask her Katie Proudfoot some questions. Ask Katie Proudfoot some real questions. Okay, now that we've been deep into this case, and I'm sure they have to ask her the questions. But at the same time, if there's a way to move this to another county, to another department, to another agency, another law enforcement county, that would be amazing. But how can you do it without slowing things down?
I'm not sure how they would do that, but I'm just saying, that's what needs to be done with all this speculation and all these rumors and everything. It's got everybody so out there just like going berserk.
Yep.
And it's making this case harder than what it is.
Exactly. I'm glad that
when all they have to do is stop the rumors, let the professionals have it. You got searchers out there on YouTube, TikTok, whether they're walking with their cameras, searching. You never know what you're going to find.
Exactly.
Be professional when you're searching.
That's, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think that that's been going on. I mean, I feel like that happens with every high profile murder case or missing persons case. There's always people that get a little overzealous, that get a little bit, go a little bit too overboard and oversteps their boundaries and gets, and starts, problems within the social media world or in the news world. You know what I mean? It happens on both in both categories. But I'm hoping that, hopefully somebody in the Sebastian Rogers case that's not in law enforcement is looking into what you just said right now and is going, okay, maybe we can change this to a whole other county so that they can have a lead detective do this with fresh eyes,
Maybe, Chef PR, Tony can suggest, hey, let's move this out to this county because mom, husband's family's got ties with the officers down here, and this is not working.
No doubt.
Maybe he can step in and do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're gonna have to find out for sure, right? So, hopefully, like I said, I hope they're looking into it. Like I said, if people are watching the show and all that, hopefully it'll, people connected to the case are hearing this, maybe they'll go, hey, that's not a bad idea. That could give us a different opportunity here, a different angle, that kind of thing. But Shirley, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate you 2 cents. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too, sweetheart. Peace. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Becky calling from Virginia.
Have a good day.
Hey, Becky. Can you turn me down in the background? That'd be great. That'd be appreciated.
Hey, you on the mic?
Sure.
And what's on your mind? Speak on it.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee all my life, and I just wanted to share my brother. When I was a little girl in the 70s, my brother was actually kidnapped from our home, and he had disabilities. It was really a sad, situation, and it was scary for we didn't know if he ran away. We had a very abusive home. And my parents rented to some people that they didn't know their background, and they took my brother and disappeared with him. We thought he had run away. He was gone for 6 weeks, and we went through the same thing with such little information from law enforcement. I remember that it was in the 70s. I was a teenager, young teenager, and he had behavioral issues and mental disabilities, later diagnosed pretty severe.
Yeah.
And so they took him and they brought him back in 6 weeks. They brought him back and they said, we can't deal with him.
Whoa.
We don't know how to deal with him.
Wait, so can you explain to me or to us how they were able to take him?
They rented an apartment from my parents on the same land that our house was on.
Okay.
And they befriended my family. They were very, I remember it as kind of a weird religion kind of thing that they did. It was strange to me. Just as a young teenager, I didn't understand it. And I just remember that my parents had found out that my brother had actually been brainwashed. It was early on. This was in the 70s.
Wow.
And they had finally, the law enforcement said, yes, they probably did brainwash him.
Yeah.
He came back a completely different person. He did come back a completely different brother. He was my younger brother by 2 years.
Yeah.
So he was 10. I was 12 or 13. And I just remember the pain and the fear. And I was so scared for him. And I knew my parents struggled because they couldn't get support from law enforcement. But then that day they brought him back. It was just sheer joy.
Yeah.
But then my parents started having to unwrap what he had been through. And I don't want to say this because I want to say this to support Seth, that there is hope. That he did come back a different person. And it was, and he's a different person till this day, and it's not good.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's one of the saddest parts of my life, but he came back, and it says he can still come back.
He could.
If someone took him, someone had befriended maybe the mom. The mom doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah. She was home.
She doesn't have an alibi.
The only alibi she has is that she was home. I was home reading a book, on the phone with Chris, heard a thud.
Yeah.
Hey, bub, time to go back to sleep. I went to sleep, woke up, went into the other room, and he was gone. That's her alibi. She was home.
Who's to say that really happened?
Yeah.
Who's to say that really happened?
Yeah.
There's no security?
Time to go back to sleep. Yeah.
No security?
Yeah. It's...
And I'm not accusing. I had a theory early on. I don't have a theory. I am completely befuddled and heartbroken that picture was not Sebastian.
Yeah.
Just heartbroken for Seth and heartbroken for Katie.
Yeah. I think we're heartbroken for everybody, right? Because we just want him to come home. And I think we were all hoping that was him.
We've come to love this child. This child is loved worldwide.
Absolutely.
And I keep praying for him to come home, and I keep praying for peace for the parents, whatever happened.
Yeah.
And I pray that whoever is responsible will be discovered very soon, and we find him.
Yeah.
And we can see Dad embrace him. That's
I think
that's all we can pray for.
I think we're all hoping and praying for that reunion, right? For that beautiful reunion, and I'm hoping it does happen, right? I really do hope it happens here soon, and it just may need to be a different agency getting involved, like the FBI or something of that sort, to just take over and just be done with it, right? So I am thankful. Yeah. I'm hopeful. I'm sorry that happens very, very soon. But I really appreciate you calling in and sharing this with us. But real quick, with your brother, was it some sort of like cult, religious cults, or just two?
It was a cult. Yeah. It was my first exposure to my first exposure to the fact that cults existed.
No doubt.
My parents were religious, but they were kind of like John Paul Miller, very two-faced.
Oh, I see.
And so, you know, I knew religion, I knew God, I had a relationship.
Right.
But it was, you know, back then cults were not as, I mean, you had Jones, whatever his name was, Jonesboro, I guess.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. I forgot his name.
I can't think right now.
The poison Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I forgot his name too.
You're talking about the Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm forgetting his
The
name.
Kool-Aid.
Mhm.
The Kool-Aid, yeah.
Yeah.
But we knew that cult, and apparently this was like it was in Cleveland, Tennessee, and it was like a small group.
Wow.
That it was a couple that took him. It wasn't that couple that returned him, but they were of the same group.
Right.
And I just remember the heartbreak. I feel the heartbreak for the family, and we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, and we just pray for the best. I'll never lose hope.
Of course, and I think that if we lose hope, then that means people lose hope on the case and all that, right? And
the parents lose hope,
and then the parents could lose hope and all that. And we don't want to do that, right? We keep talking, we keep saying his name, we keep bringing up the awareness, we keep talking about the new updates and facts, and hopefully, he
and
turns up.
The return can happen.
Yeah.
He'll turn up, keep firm, and that belief that he'll turn up. Manifest it.
Absolutely.
Manifest it until it happens, right?
Right. That's all we got. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you sharing that.
I appreciate your show.
Oh,
I appreciate your show. You're open, you're honest, and you're raw and real, and you treat your guests with such respect. And I just appreciate it, and I enjoy being a member.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. It means a lot.
You have good. You have good evening.
You too, sweetheart. All right. Peace. I am going to end the call in thing. Okay. So Speak On It is done. Okay. But sorry guys, if there's if you feel compelled to hop on, just sometimes we're not able to get every single phone call in, and it's very impromptu. But I wanted to say that, first off, I appreciate everybody's calling, everybody's opinions, everybody's thoughts, because here it is. There are no wrong answers right now. Literally, there are people out here that are Team Proudfoot, and that is okay. There are people who are Team Seth, and that is okay. There are Team Sebastian, which it should be all of us, right? And that's more than okay, right? We all want the same thing. We all want to know what the heck happened, and we all want Sebastian to get home. And however way we can get him home, the sooner the better. That's how it needs to be done. Now, whether, I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I don't know. Everything, all the possibilities are still on the table. I know that there's been people speculating that maybe that he was dropped off somewhere, like some sort of facility of some sort, and put under a different name. I don't know. It could be possible. It may not be possible, but anything is possible at this point, right? He literally could have walked out with new shoes on, barefoot. He could have plotted this out with his friend and took off. He could have heard something, or mama could have, Katie could have said something that angered him so much, that triggered him so much that he got up and walked out the door. That's possible. Literally, that is very, very much possible. But at the same time, the thing is none of these things have been debunked yet. That's what's so frustrating about it. It could be foul play, like Roxanne just said in the chat. It could be foul play, but it could be not foul play. We don't know. Law enforcement doesn't even know. They're sitting there going, it could be, it may not be, it may be, it may not be foul play, but we're going to sit on the fence. They're even doing that too. Because if it was foul play, they'd be looking at this like crazy in a different direction, in a different way. And I think everybody would be brought back in, interrogated, asked questions again. They'd all be side-eyeing everybody and all that. I mean, there's the theories that have been out here have been running amok, but at the same time, none of it's a wacky, wild idea because nothing's been debunked. All we know is a kid got up, allegedly, and allegedly walked out the door before mama went into his room at around 6 o'clock in the morning to wake his butt up for school. That is all we know. No scent, no buried body in the backyard, no body floating down a river, found in the middle of a body of water, found in a construction site, nothing of that sort. We have nothing. So anything is possible right now. One thing that Roxanne just said that caught my eye too. Hold on, let me grab that before it disappears. Boom. CCTV would have caught him at least once in 72 days. Yeah, they would have. It definitely would have. It most definitely would have. Let's keep it real. Okay. True Crime says, I saw a video of Sebastian and photos and photo looks nothing like him. Sad to say, but I don't think he is still alive. KP and CP hold the answers. I mean, listen, I know that we can easily go on that route being like, okay, he may not be here anymore. And yes, that's still on the table too. But I like to try to err on the side of, let's keep on the hopeful. Let's hope for him to come home and that he's alive and well. And I think we need to treat it as such until law enforcement is able to come back and say, okay, it is confirmed that he is no longer with us, or it is confirmed that, something sinister, some sort of foul play happened to him, right? Because foul play could have happened to him and he'd still be alive. Just being real. But like I said, nothing has been confirmed as far as whether this is foul play or not and how he disappeared. There could be some monster that he was talking to on his computer, on his phone and stuff. This could just be some really messed up, drawn out prank from him and his neighborhood friends or something. I don't know. But like I said, I feel like they need to take one big step backwards, go back to the origin story and walk through it all over again. Start from the beginning and walk all the way through that mug. I think that's the only way that we can get a little bit closer to finding Sebastian. Take a step back, look at the big picture all over again. Start from the beginning. Go a little bit slower and knock it all the way down again. Sometimes you just got to do that. All right. Duck, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Misty Fisher, thank you so much. Lord, we ask that you're with Seth during this difficult time. Please comfort, guide, and protect him. Renew his hope, faith, and bring Sebastian home to Seth. In Jesus' name, amen. We love and support you, Seth. And hopefully Seth is watching this and knows that there is a lot of support and love to him and finding Sebastian, okay? At the end of the day, guys, okay? At the end of the day, I know that there are opposing views out here. There are content creators that are leaning on one side more than the other. And I say, hey, it's totally fine. It is what it is. Everyone has their opinions. But at the end of the day, I think we all got to remember that we need to be out here staying on the facts and, of course, trying to find this young man. And I'm hoping we find him soon. But the fact that we don't have this photo to lean on anymore. Where the heck did I put it? Dagnabbit. The fact that we don't have this photo anymore and the potential footage from this photo, it is frustrating, right? And also, I will say this, servant of God, you just said, yes, the facts, but there's nothing wrong to call out the inconsistencies. But that's the thing. the inconsistencies, if you're able to call out the inconsistencies with facts, then those are facts. You see what I'm saying? Just something to think about. So yeah, if anybody out here talking sideways one day and then they get caught on another show like Nancy Grace and then lie, those are facts. You said it here one way and you said something completely different on another platform. Here, these two things stick together. Facts, right? Facts. So, yes, I think we should still be very diligent in what we hear from everybody, because every single thing that they say is important, right? But if they say one thing here and then hop over on somewhere else and they say something else, right? I can't help but point that out because that's facts. But if I'm just speculating and pulling things out my ass and making things up just for the sake of a click or a view, that's a problem. And we've seen people like that before. Remember Gabby Petito? Shoot, the same dude made up crap, made up so much messed up stuff, right? About the Idaho 4. Oh, here's the audio of these girls getting attacked. So demented and messed up, just so he can have a few views and a few hundred clicks or a couple 100,000 subscribers. That's messed up, y'all. You don't do that. And that's a real thing. The dude got caught several times putting out fake stuff like that. Several times. That's not right. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let them do their thing. Okay? But when they start coming out with stuff that's not true, and it's all fake, that's when I start talking. That's when I got a problem with it. Okay? But at the end of the day, we should all be Team Sebastian. I just hope that at some point, Proudfoot's, Seth Rogers, I'm still hoping for that alliance. But if it never happens, I also think that tells us something too, as well. So now you guys know the footage that's been out here, it is not Sebastian. It's unfortunate. It's aggravating. Also, Nancy Grace had a piece that got brought out here. Seth did do a polygraph, and the guy that actually did the polygraph test said he passed. And trust me, I think that if he did not pass, if it was negative, she would have made a meal out of Seth if he didn't pass that poly. Trust and believe he would have. Sorry, I'm just reading you guys' comments. If you guys can, please hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot. Okay? Don't forget to hit that reaction button. Of course, hit that follow and hit that subscribe button. Okay? That would be dope. That would be dope. Thank you. Pearl Girl, what do you think about Seth getting Tony? It has put a damper for me. Okay. See now, okay. I'll ask it. I'll ask this. For me, I'm fine with it. To me, I think it's about damn time, because I think everything has been an absolute cluster F for a little while. It's been messy. And I know a lot of people like the mess. Everybody likes it. There's a lot of people that like the drama mess. And I'm telling you right now, with Tony coming in, I think it's going to be a godsend for Seth. Everyone has to realize that Seth is only one person. He is one person running all of this stuff. At some point, he's going to have to slow down. At some point, he's going to need some help. And I just don't understand why people don't see that. I just don't see why everybody, I just don't understand it. And it's fine. Like, hey, everyone teach their own. Fine. Do your thing. But I am not tripping over that, because at the end of the day, it's about finding Sebastian. And I feel like people are forgetting that. Like that's, so for me, it's like, how is that putting a damper on anything? How is it putting a damper? Because you're waiting for Seth to say something crazy about Chris, because you're there for the drama. Okay, I'm not there for the drama. I'm here for the facts and here to find Sebastian, right? I think that when it goes off the rails like that, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't. You know, I've had Seth on the show multiple times to clarify things and all that because of things that have been said in the past, right? And I'm going, okay, here's an opportunity for you to clarify what you say, what you've said in the past that caused a ruckus in the true crime world or in this case for Sebastian. But now it's at a place where, okay, he's still not home. Something's got to change. And if it means that he has to be more focused about being out there trying to find Sebastian and not being in these podcasts and making these phone calls and getting on all this crazy stuff and getting messy out here, if it means that he has to step back so that he can focus on finding Sebastian, then so be it. And I think, hey, if Tony needs to help out, then he needs to help out. And I think everybody needs to just be okay with that and let it be what it is. Just saying. And let Tony do what he does. See how he conducts himself. See how he presents this case and does what he needs to do for Seth. Also, you got to remember, and I've said this before, but hey, maybe Seth needs to go back to work. You know, he's got bills to pay. Those bills aren't going to pay themselves. At some point, he's got to make an appearance at work. So while he's at work, you got Tony holding the reins. And then when he's not at work, he's back at trying to find Sebastian. I don't think there's anything wrong with bringing in somebody who's actually out here wanting to do this and help this guy. He is by himself. You already know that the Proudfoots, from what we understand so far, have not been out here trying to help. Not help Seth. And God knows what they're doing out here to help with this Sebastian Rogers case. And I'm not even going to allude to that. We're going to let them do what they do. It will be seen the efforts that they're doing if they are making efforts in trying to find Sebastian. What I know is from what I've seen with Seth, and he is getting run ragged. So there needs to be somebody to help him. There was supposed to be an alliance between the Proudfoots and Seth. And did that happen? I'll answer for you. No, it did not. So eventually somebody has to help Seth. Proudfoots ain't helping him. Law enforcement seems like they're not really in contact with him. So let Tony do what he do. And trust me, if it doesn't work out, we gonna see it. We gonna see it real quick. But who are we to cast the first stone when we don't even know half the stuff that's going on behind the scenes right now? I don't think it's right. I think it's really jacked up, the reactions it's been out here in these streets. Let Tony just do his thing. Let's see what he can do first before you pass such hard judgment on the guy. Like I said, I think there's some people that just want drama for drama's sake. And I think there are people out here that actually want Sebastian to be found. And I'm sure the people that are there for drama's sake want Sebastian to be found, but they enjoy the ride with the messiness. And the thing is that the messiness needs to stop. That's it. This messiness needs to stop. It's not helping Seth. It's not helping the Proudfoots. It damn sure ain't helping Sebastian, and he's the number one priority. So let Tony just do his thing, and everyone just chill, tranquilo, and understand that Seth is alone. Sure, he's got people to help him with, with the flyers and passing things around and volunteering. I'm not sitting there saying the people who are volunteering aren't helping him, but he needs that right-hand guy that can help him out. He needs that partner that can be with him and help him through these trying times. That's what he needs. And I think everybody needs to hang out and chill and just let him do his thing. Be patient, be understanding, be adults. Misty, thank you so much. Pascal, has Sebastian's case changed from being investigated as a missing person case? Has there been any kind of update saying it has changed into some other kind of investigation? Misty, that's a very good question. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know that part. It still has maintained the exact same status quo that it has been since day one. They're just investigating this as like a runaway, from what I understand. They're not looking at this as a, abduction or anything of that sort. So I'm waiting as well to see what they I'm waiting to see what they say, but law enforcement have not, they need to ish or get off the pot. You see what I'm saying? And right now they're going, well, it could be foul play, but it may not be foul play. We can't tell you which is which. And I'm like, homie, just tell them what it is. Because as soon as it is foul play, they can move forward with stuff. But if it's not foul play, then they'll continue doing exactly what they're doing. Right? Which is a snail crawl, it feels like. But like I said, I don't know. I'm still waiting, just like everybody else. Okay? I'm still waiting. Now I want to know what the hell's going on as well. All right? Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading your comments. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that through, that's the thing. It's like bringing Tony on, it'll hopefully soften the blow on certain things as well. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not boots on the ground, nor am I in the group chat or in the group discussions, right? All I know is that he has taken over for the media side of things, being that spokesperson. And all we can do is step back and wait to see what he's gonna do, right? And that's what needs to happen. Period. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I am extremely hopeful because it's about damn time that I feel Seth doesn't wake up with a stroke, like on the verge of having a stroke every single day. You know what I mean? Because of the stuff, because of constantly being on all these platforms, doing all these interviews, so on and so forth. But like I said, let's see what Tony got to do. Let's see what Tony does. We just got to have faith, just like we got to hold on to hope that Sebastian's still alive out there and still, just being held at somebody's place right now. I think that's the only thing that we got to do. That's the only thing that we can do. The other thing though, too, is, I know that there is, because Daryl just said something here, and I'm just going to put it up. The damned mattress that Sebastian was made to sleep on because of punishment. Law enforcement needs to find that mattress. I have suspicions that Sebastian could have been placed in that mattress. Now, I'm kind of curious about that too, because that's still news to me. The mattress thing. I have not listened to the interview. Apparently, there's an interview and all that. I have not listened to the interview at all. Because I don't even know if no disrespect to the platform or the interview, but I'm kind of curious about the credibility of that phone call and that conversation, because that could be anybody saying that they are a neighbor. But at the same time, I am curious about it, but I don't know if that's actual truth. Okay, if that makes any sense. Misty, already did that. Did you coordinate Tony and Seth? No. Have mercy. No. Yeah, I've already heard a bunch of crazy stuff. And y'all are nuts. Okay? No. All right. They got coordinated together. And of course, I've been talking to both of them separately for separate reasons. Okay? Then I found out about this. Okay? I found out about this union, this conversation, and all that stuff. I got them on the show to talk about this. They came on, they talked. Okay? So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, because there's another thing about Tony being a felon. Like I heard something about from last I heard, he's not. Okay. So yeah, like this, it's these are the things that I find very frustrating. Okay. Um, yeah, sorry, I'm just reading his stuff. Yeah, he definitely needs to get a lawyer to help him with the police. The police won't do anything until a lawyer starts going at them, demanding answers and get them moving. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. Okay. And see, that's the thing too. It's like if the felon thing is true, as long as it's not something super bad, meaning like that has to do with littles or anything of that sort, then, or, aggravated, violence or anything of that sort, then, I don't see a problem with somebody trying to help another person. You see what I'm saying? And apparently there's some other people saying something about that, and it's like the wrong Tony. And you guys are leaning on stuff that's not true on another Tony that apparently is dead now. So it's like everyone needs to chill. Okay. Let's see. I don't have your email, so I sent Sebastian. I sent a Sebastian pic to your Facebook. I had a question before about it. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I did that. So hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. But yeah, anyway. See, now the thing is Jen, babe, I mean, I don't know, because like I said, I don't know, like, I don't know everything that's going on. I just get some updates and that's about it. But as far as that goes, as far as like a lawyer and all that getting involved, he may have a lawyer already involved. I just don't know personally. He may have a lawyer and he may be working on a whole bunch of stuff in the background. We don't know. We will see. You know what I mean? We will definitely see. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate everybody for being on and chopping it up with me. I appreciate it. Yeah. Joanne, I agree. It's Seth's son, not ours, and he's doing everything he can to find him. So get behind helping to find his son. Or yeah. I don't blame you. I do not blame you on saying that. But like I said, I'm not trying to tell people to F off or anything of that sort. Not at all. I just think that everybody needs to chill out and let him look for his son. Period. Let him look for his son. Let him do what he needs to do. All right. Yeah. And I do believe, Sebastian is still out there, Penny. So let's continue on with the conversation, the facts, and trying to find his son. Period. Okay, guys? But that is the show. Thank you guys so much for being here. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for the phone calls, etc. All right. We will be talking more in the very, very near future. I mean, if there's any more updates and news about Sebastian, then yes, I will be more than happy to come up here and talk with you guys about it. But we have a lot of other cases that we are covering as well. There's a lot new updates on a bunch of other cases that we have talked about in the past as well that we need to talk about here too. Okay. So don't worry. That stuff is coming out soon. We will be chopping it up again very, very soon. But please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button. That'll be greatly appreciated. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of the conversation. We still got many, many stories and many, many cases to go. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure that notification bell is set to all on all my platforms. If you're watching on other platforms, there is a notification bell on Facebook, so make sure it's on. But if you are watching on YouTube, after you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let everybody know, okay? Or so that it lets you know, so that it lets you know when I go live, whenever I upload and all that, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that join button down below if you're watching on YouTube to become a member of the family. Again, I appreciate all y'all for being here again. That really means a lot. Thank you. Or you can go over to Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Go join my Patreon. That'll be dope as well. Okay? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. All right? It's time to get going as we continue, as we proceed. Hopefully we find out more information very, very soon. But right now we are still it's now hands up in the air again. So I hope we find out something soon so we can bring this young man home. Okay? So I'll be on the lookout for it and we'll be talking soon. Okay? It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll be talking to you guys very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.